Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us for NBA action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And, of course, David Aldridge is joining us tonight from the sideline. D.A., take it away.
In the last few years, we've seen league-wide scoring surge in the NBA.
It sure is fun to watch, D.A. Thank you. And here's a look at some numbers for Towns.
And, guys, he's fighting it a little bit at the free throw line. In the past 10 games, the stroke just hasn't been what we saw earlier in the season. He'll be trying to right that ship here tonight.
Now, a look at Dallas's starting lineup. Doncic and Porzingis, the incredible forward pair. Jalen Brunson out there with Hardaway. And it's Marjanovic in at center. And for Minnesota, Conley and Towns, the duo inside. Culver the off guard with Wiggins at the 3. And it's Napier in at the 1 spot.
And one thing the Wolves have done well over the past few seasons, taking care of the ball.
Yeah, you know, they squeeze it well. Low turnovers can be a double-edged sword, though. If you don't make many mistakes, maybe you're not being aggressive enough.
And Marjanovic with the slam.
Ooh, he put a little extra on that one.
He does. He doesn't usually finish soft either. Obviously, he can when necessary, but not that time.
Not when he can throw it down like that. Boom!
Knocked away. Culver dishes to Napier. Out in his own on the break. Here's Brunson. Rips down the breakaway slam.
That's a double whammy, guys.
That's right. A great defensive play, then the emphatic stuff.
Well, turning defense to offense, we talk about it all the time. Try to hit your opponent at the other end before they can set up the defense.
Here's Doncic, and the dunk by Doncic.
Nice work there from Doncic. Saw an opportunity to cash in and didn't let it go awry.
Napier passes to Culver. About a minute and a half through the first quarter. Here's Wiggins. The shot misses. Now Dallas takes it the other way. They come in fresh off a win against the Heat.
Remarkable consistency from deep. You can't count on that every game, especially on the road.
Yeah, you know, the defense had no answer for him. To do that kind of damage on the road, impressive.
Here's Towns. The Mavericks making the shot. Shot to stop the run, and the dunk by Towns.
Come on, this is a big guy here, Towns. I mean, you got to foul him a lot harder than that to stop the shot. I mean, he's just too strong. Now he gets a chance to add one more at the line.
And he'll be shooting his first free throw of the game here.
Yeah, he's at 81% from the line, and when we've had a chance to see him, he's had great form and continues to look confident.
You know, one thing about getting going at the free throw line like he has this season, it can continue to carry over.
Here's Napier, following the basket by Kristaps Porzingis. And the rejection by Marjanovic. And he gets it back. They get it back. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket.
Oh, how pretty was that? Used the rim to protect the ball perfectly.
Up again, controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. Marjanovic has got his second basket.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
And how? I mean, they're taking this defense to task, taking them to school. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg.
Well, I like the way he capped off that drive. The one-hand hole punch.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
Napier passes to Wiggins. Marjanovic against Towns. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. 9 points for Karl Anthony Towns. And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. Clark, over the last couple decades, the role of the big man has changed and required more skill outside shooting among them.
Yeah, that's one of the things. And then the ability to move your feet defensively.
Yes.
Because the three-point shot spaces the floor so much. And a lot of times teams will have 4, maybe 5 perimeter shooters out there regardless of size. So big guys, if they're going to play in that type of an alignment, have to be able to move their feet and effectively guard perimeter players and also make shots from the perimeter as well.
Amazing to see guys that big out there sometimes with a one-on-one with the guard, like on the three-point line.
No doubt. And also the big guys, we've got a ton of them, Kevin, across the league that can really knock down the three-point shot.
And he had more than enough room there for one of those trademark slams that he's become noted for.
And Greg, don't you think once he got that space, you just knew it was going to happen?
So did the defense.
Yeah, that's right.
And I tell you what, he does not squander those chances. I mean, he's always going to punch it home with that kind of chance.
Count it.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Correa, the pass to Porzingis. And good that time. Porzingis has got 12 points in the game.
Boy, I like the way Porzingis uses his ample offensive tools to generate some big-time offense.
Here's Towns. Nifty move. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. Last time they met was in Dallas.
And the last time these two met, they were able to get a big win because of that bench production. Second unit might be a factor in this one as well.
And you know what? If they run away with this game like they did in that one, I'd expect to see plenty of minutes again for the guys coming off the bench.
The Mavericks shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game.
You know, Porzingis is a unique big man, no doubt about it. He's often compared to Dirk Nowitzki, somebody that can space the floor as well as hurt you with his athleticism. Actually, he's probably a tad more athletic than Dirk.
Teague. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
And every small guy should have this shot. Teague loves the floater. A nearly unguardable shot when he gets it up that quick.
Correa, no good. And Teague's got the ball here for the Minnesota Timberwolves. 7-point differential. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
Yeah, it was all hands on deck. Helps to get points off the bench when you're on the road.
Absolutely, especially on the road when you need those guys off the bench to up the ante.
The pass to Crowder. From deep. He can't hit that time. A big-time effort for Porzingis, providing a lot of energy for Dallas. Scoring, rebounding, he was all over the place during the former #1 pick overall in 2015, Carl Anthony.
Every single day we're thinking about how can we be.
Yep, one step at a time, Greg. That's the mindset to have.
Yeah, you can't have too much too early. But with Towns leading the charge, this team is in great hands.
And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Mavericks?
Yeah, in that first period, they look to push in transition at every opportunity.
Yeah, I like the way they play. They're looking to get up and down the court every time. Racehorse basketball here tonight. Strap it up. Don't look down. You'll miss something.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, they've got Layman. Carl Anthony Towns is out there with Jay Crowder. Then there's Teague, and it's Covington in at the 3. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, last season the G League tested out an expansion of the clear path rule. And now that expansion is making its way to the NBA. It should discourage those intentional fouls that slow up teams on the fast break. Fans wanted it, and analysts clamored for it. That will allow the amazing athletes in this league more opportunities to show what they can do in the fast break.
You're right, David. A welcome change. Thank you. Here's Towns. It's rebounded by Porzingis. Porzingis has got his 6th rebound on the night.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one. Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
You know, guys, the Dallas Mavericks with the longest active sellout streak of any pro basketball team. You can put sellout in quotes because they actually give a lot of tickets away to schools and community service groups to make sure that building is full.
Dallas calls timeout. You know, Clark, the Mavericks making their games accessible to Dallas fans, much more concerned with the packed house than the revenue at the gate.
Yeah, and I like that philosophy, guys. I mean, building their future fan base. Those fans will be around for a while. Giving young people a chance to become Mavericks fans for life. And you start early, and it pays dividends down the road usually.
Pass to Culver. Pass to Wiggins. He dishes it to Napier. 5 to shoot. Elbow shot is on the way. And Crowder stays with it.
I love the determination he showed there, getting himself into good position under the glass.
With the presence of mind to know just where the rebound was going to come down. Well timed.
And then the nifty touch to tip it in as well.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And Doncic gets it to go.
And this offense is in a perfect rhythm, and you can see how they're finishing their plays.
Boy, this is borderline ridiculous. I mean, every single attempt finding the bottom of the bucket.
It's stolen by Marjanovic. Here's the break. Here's Brokoff. And that one is hammered home.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
Napier kicks to Wiggins. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
And even though you only see him in short spurts, Boban makes an impact, Clark, when on the floor.
Yeah, Marjanovic is a huge guy, and he only plays limited minutes at a time. But there's nothing small about this guy. He's an efficient scorer when he gets his chances, but just doesn't have the foot speed to be able to play significant minutes.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Marjanovic. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in for Dwight Powell. Lee's checked in for Ryan Brokoff. And Barea subbed in for Seth Curry. Passes it to Culver. 1:02 left to play here in the second quarter. Wiggins passes to Napier. Just 5 to shoot. Kleber with the rebound.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And Minnesota gets called for the foul. The Mavericks have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line. The first one falls.
Boy, Doncic plays with such an edge and attitude, and I think it endears him to his teammates and gives them confidence.
The Timberwolves making a switch here. Towns is checked in.
Well, you know, it's not been easy for Andrew Wiggins the last few seasons, guys. The production has just fallen short of expectations. He was the #1 pick back in his draft class and really has struggled to live up to what the fans have expected him to be.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Minnesota shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game.
And 75% on the season as a unit from the free throw line.
You know, I know that's an aspect they've been trying to address as a team. I mean, they've got to get those free throw numbers up and improve.
Robert Covington's checked in for the Timberwolves. Teague comes in for Culver. And Dallas also making a switch. Hardaway's checked in for Luka Doncic. Finney-Smith passes to Kleber. Here's Finney-Smith. 1 second left. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's Dallas taking a 19-point lead into the break. And
Thank you.
thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks, Kent, there was no stopping Kristaps Porzingis in the first half. He had 20 points and 6 rebounds. And Kenny, what are your thoughts? And now with the second half about to...
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Porzingis having a dominant impact in this game.
Yeah, pretty much all throughout that first half, and he was taking care of his business on the low blocks and getting more than his fair share of dunks.
Guys, he's been in beast mode down low, asserting his will. The defense has been helpless, unable to slow him down.
Here's who Rick Carlisle is starting the second half with. Doncic and Porzingis, the incredible forward pair. Hardaway is out there with Jalen Brunson. And it's Marjanovic in at the 5. Napier kicks to Culver. Wiggins against Hardaway. Towns wide open. Offline with his 3.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Here's Napier. He has 6. In the corner, it's Wiggins. 6 on the shot clock. No good that time. Now the Mavericks take it the other way.
Starting slow in this half, 0 for 3 so far.
And Doncic gets it to go. Clark, a lot of young players in this NBA becoming top 10 players as they mature. Who are some of the guys you spot that are really going to make a mark?
Well, they've already made a mark, and you anticipate it'll continue to be that way. Ben Simmons, Donovan Mitchell. I like Jaylen Brown in Boston.
Oh, yeah.
As well as Jason Tatum there. And clearly Zion Williamson has a chance to be really special.
Well-rounded effort, and they show no signs of letting up.
Almost no holes in their performance tonight. They've been tremendous.
Back to Napier. The pass to Culver. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Towns finds Wiggins. Mavericks with the rebound. Marjanovic has got 4 rebounds in this game.
Oh, man, still a goose egg for him in the scoring column.
And, you know, even though in today's game floor spacing is all the rage, the last 5 years the Wolves attempted the fewest threes in the league. And when they did shoot them, they didn't make very many of them.
And on top of their troubles from range, the Wolves have also had trouble on the defensive glass.
Yeah, and if you can't rebound and you're not shooting it well, you've got to figure out who you're going to be. Your identity is in question. That's what the Wolves are trying to figure out. Who are we? What do we do well? How do we win? How do we succeed? To get to the next level, they've got to answer that question.
Teague against Curry. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a 3-point play chance here for him.
I tell you what, Teague is superb at knocking down shots, even when he's getting hit. I mean, he finds a way to muscle him up and in.
Robert Covington's checked in for Culver. The Mavericks also with a sub. Kleba's checked in.
Well, you look at Jeff Teague, and his game does not have a lot of flash, but his handles, those are rush hour caliber. This guy has that ball on the string, folks.
Covington's shot is off.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
A different look for Dallas. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in for Ryan Brokoff. And it's Lee in for Curry.
Well, you see the great reach as well as the relentless pursuit shown by Towns. He's simply saying, not here, not now, not in my house.
And with Teague, Clark doesn't do anything flashy, but the stats do add up.
Yeah, he's very steady and quiet, understated. But you watch him out there, and he's a competitor now. Before last year, Teague had made the playoffs 9 straight years in a row, and that doesn't happen by accident.
In perfect timing, this run is exactly what they needed, and it's right when they needed it. They couldn't afford to wait any longer.
Yeah, it's still a big hill to climb. I mean, it was essential that they at least made some kind of dent in that lead before we got to the fourth quarter.
Pass to Towns, and it's blocked. 1:02 left here in the third quarter. Finney Smith passes to Powell. Stolen. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Layman kicks to Towns. Outside Teague. Back to Towns. The 15-footer kept alive. Dishes it to Crowder. That shot missing, and the Mavericks going the other way now. They get to take on the Bulls at Chicago after this one. That's game 4 of 4 out on the road for him.
Boy, he really bungled that finish.
Inside. That one falls. Crowder's got 5 points now this quarter.
And all of a sudden, things finally coming together for them. The deficit's still large, but now not insurmountable.
And, Greg, that kind of deficit, I think they're going about it the right way. I mean, they've got to get aggressive on defense. They need stops. And then you got to take care of the basketball at the other end so you get a good shot every trip.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits it. And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. And it's the Mavericks with the ball. They have a 19-point lead. Wiggins and Covington fill the wings. Conley and Towns, the duo inside. And it's Teague in at the point guard position. So that's the lineup for Minnesota.
You know, as I watch Doncic, I think it's futile to try to distract this guy. His focus and concentration and control of himself is excellent.
Correa, the pass to Finney Smith. Good D by Covington.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
We've seen some ugly incidents last few years, Clark, between players and heckling fans. Can anything be done to fix it?
I think security in the arenas is important. Fans oftentimes that go across the line in interacting with players are usually fueled by alcohol. I don't know how you could control that element of it. The incidents are few and far between. We have seen a few more, but I still don't think it's an epidemic. But I think security, and then each team and each franchise should really be educational with its fans about what's acceptable behavior and what won't be tolerated.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Boy, the defense looks shell-shocked. I mean, they're on the ropes right now, on their heels.
Minnesota calls timeout on when you see that step-back 3, Clark, for Doncic. Shades of James Harden, the way he gets that shot off.
And you know what? They say Luka's deceleration, hitting the brakes and stopping suddenly, is top-notch, just like James Harden's. So that's quite a compliment. A lot of that is footwork and balance. But I think his quickness, too, guys, has been a little bit underrated. This guy is a little better athlete than he gets credit for.
Dallas leading by 23. And Porzingis gets it to go on the assist by Doncic. And that's now 26 points for Porzingis. Minnesota's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Here's Towns. Good.
Yeah, you see right there, Towns invites contact. Unafraid of it, looking for it, and he's able to score through it.
Porzingis finds Doncic. And stolen by Wiggins. That's tipped. And the shot is good.
So tenacious in the open floor. Give Wiggins some room to run, and he takes advantage of it.
And the Mavericks call time here. Last season, the NBA announcing the launch of a league in Africa, along with FIBA. Clark, what do you think of that move?
I think it's another example, Kevin, of the globalization of the game and the NBA's intentional, purposeful way of expanding and continuing to grow the game for the sake of the business of basketball, which is a game that obviously you and I love.
And Clark, we see so many foreign players come into the NBA and play well. Not just play, but play well.
Yeah, and not just Africa, although
Right.
a number of players from Africa, but a number of different countries have signed on. It could make for a more exciting league.
Clark, the max contract didn't exist when you were playing. Is it something that should be up for debate?
Well, it's a function of the economics of the league now, and in theory, there's some reasons why you have max contracts, because a guy has earned that opportunity, a way to keep a star player or a max contract player with the same team, I think is part of the reasoning behind it. I mean, debating it and talking about it is probably something that makes some sense. If you're thinking about getting rid of it, I'm not so sure.
How about the recognition from Culver? Terrific at realizing when the defense has broken down.
And Marjanovic with the slam.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish.
Part of what makes him unique, guys, that combination of power and polish.
Wiggins kicks to Towns. No good from outside. And so it's Porzingis. He'll bring it up for the Mavericks. Pass to Marjanovic. And Dallas again with the bucket.
Excellent court awareness from the big man there. Porzingis proven to be a reliable passer.
The Timberwolves have gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting at even 50% from the field. Napier passes to Vonleh. The dish to Wiggins. Over Doncic, and there's another one for the Timberwolves.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will, and you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Mavericks.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And counting tonight's game on the season, they'll now have won 57 games this year.
And just breaking the spirit of their opponent 3 straight times this year. This win is going to give them a perfect 3-0 record with 1 left to be played on the season against the Timberwolves.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Porzingis.
An unbelievable scoring performance. He absolutely took over and never let up.
There's 45 seconds left in the fourth. Good, and the assist goes to Doncic.
And they came in determined to take this one. It's going to be a happy flight home.
Yep, to have a stress-free win on the road, very satisfying. The fans are already headed for the exit.
And that one's good. Wiggins.
Look, it's always great to get into a rhythm, but do it when it matters.
Now they're playing with urgency. They could have done it much earlier, before the game was out of reach.
And credit the whole team. It was a focused, concerted effort to put this one away.
Yeah, what a time to put the hammer down. Any hope of a comeback diminished.
Passes it to Vonleh. The rebound by Marjanovic. Here's Barea, and the basket is good.
And, you know, Barea is extremely fast. Explodes to the basket whenever he sees a lane available.
So no problem for Dallas as they get the win. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean,